Hello and welcome to the new Dad Rock.
Thanks. This is Keith.
And this is Steve introducing hopefully a weekly show about music. Mostly music that we like, bands, albums, eras, genres, I don't know, songs, album covers, random trivia, I don't know.
Cool guitar players, DJs, shows we've been to, shows coming up, you know.
Yeah, anything to do with music. So far, I think we've talked about doing one on a Pavement album, a list of bands we liked back in '93.
Do you remember the Somnambulist?
Yeah, but that's another story. Anyway, we're not here to change anyone's minds, but, hopefully open up your minds to, some new music, thinking about music a little bit more in depth.
Well, anyway, who are we? As the name implies, we are a couple of dads.
Yeah, and, we met in college, bonded over music.
Among other things.
Yeah. Yes, and we had a radio show together back on WGSU. What was that, like fall of '93, spring of '94?
Yeah, last millennium, 1993.
Yeah, anyway, wasn't it? It was like a midnight to 2 a.m. shift, right?
Yeah, I think it was Tuesdays, or even worse, like Monday night, so Monday when it becomes Tuesday.
Yeah, that probably is it. And I mean, I remember it was like, I think it was an all request show, so
but we had no requests.
We had no requests, so we just played whatever the hell we wanted. It's just anyway. So yeah, back in '93, we listened to all the college bands, and we'll talk about that in depth in another episode.
That is quintessential dad rock. 1993.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's where we're coming from. We're dads in our 40s now, and we each lived in San Francisco. We've lived in New York and seen a bunch of shows in those places and a lot of other places across the country as well.
Maybe, but mostly San Francisco, New York.
Yeah. Anyway. From there, I wrote for this zine called Splendid way back in 2003.
Yeah, can I find that anywhere? Is that in the Wayback Machine or something?
I don't know, man. I haven't seen that site in years. George Zahora. Oh my God, that's the name. Was it a few CMJ shows with him? But back in 2003, I think I listened to like 3 albums I had to review every week, and then like the Arab Strap Monday at the Huggin' Pint was out that year, and Blackberry Bell by the Twilight Singers. Those are the only 2 albums I remember, besides all the stuff I had to review.
Wait, but holy crap. You're saying you had a radio show at college in 1993. You wrote reviews for the Splendid Zine or whatever in 2003. Where were you in 2013?
Right. I moved in 2013. Anyway.
Were you a dad in 2013?
Yes, 3 times over.
Were you a dad in 2003?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. 2003. I'm reviewing albums, 3 albums a week. I didn't have kids at that point. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Do you ever interview anyone?
Yeah, I mean, I interviewed. So Arab Strap, I just mentioned them. I don't know. I liked them for a few years. They'd just driven like 6 hours from Boston to New York in a snowstorm. Between exhaustion, they're Scottish brogues. It was a crappy interview. They did not want to talk to me at all.
What does Arab Strap mean? Did you ask them that?
No, it's like a sex device.
I figured.
So yeah. No, but I think so. It was like 2003. So 2003 is like Bush Junior's in there. There's like the Middle East war going on, and they're walking across with luggage that says Arab on them. So
cool.
That was like my first question, and I think went downhill from there.
Yeah, well, who else did you fuck up the interviews for?
Yeah. You remember Alice Donut?
I've had donuts.
Yeah. No, dude, they played Geneseo with Blind Melon. They opened for Blind Melon. I think were the Meat Puppets involved too? I think
that sounds familiar.
Anyway,
yeah, was that in
the
stadium?
in the cool auditorium.
Is that what it was called? KUHL, cool.
Yeah, something like that.
Nice.
So Yeah. Anyway, those guys got back together for a few shows in like 2003. They did it. I think they even recorded like 2 or 3 albums at once. Did a quick tour, 6 dates. I interviewed them. They were playing CBGB's. So right before CB's closed. It's just cool to be in there and hanging out with Alice Stone.
So hey.
Oh yeah.
You interview anyone that was good?
My favorite interview was Circulatory System. Those were the guys. They were in Olivia Tremor Control.
Yeah, totally.
Right. I hung out with those guys, Will and John especially, for like 2 hours. I think I interviewed them for like half an hour because I look back, what I recorded was, pretty half-assed interview. But I had a blast with those guys. Pete Urchick was there. Heather McIntosh. She was like from the Instruments. They might have been opening up. Or maybe she was playing keys. Most of the conversation was off the record. We just had a blast, though. But, what about you, man? So I did obviously the DJ thing with you, and then did Splendid, and, had a bunch of kids. What about you, man? What have you been doing? You,
Well, not much at all, but, like, talking about...
Oh, come on, you got a rock band?
Totally. Well, sure, whatever. But, like, my kids wouldn't say I rock. But, like, so going back to Circulatory System, I got to see Neutral Milk Hotel 2 nights in a row at Bomb on the Hill in San Francisco. And then I seriously think, like, 5-6 days later, I saw them at the festival. I don't recall what it was. It was with the Bevis Front. It had some weird, like, Lord of the Rings type festival name to it in 98, 99. And it was a real, true acid test.
The Middle Earth Festival?
It was something, man. It was something. It was all psychedelic. But seriously, Neutral Milk Hotel played, then Olivia Tremor Control, and they played the whole entirety of film behind them of history. So it started from like when you might see film in the late 1890s, I think, 1900s. So like San Francisco, you saw World War I, saw the Depression. It was sick, dude. You saw all of history through those albums.
No, those guys are great. I love those bands. The Elephant Six. That's probably an episode at some point.
Yeah, I can't wait.
But don't be shy. I mean, you're an acclaimed band.
Well, I was claimed.
I wouldn't say,
I was claimed.
Yeah, it's claimed. It's claimed. I'm not saying it's an acclaimed band, but Keith and the Terrorists, man.
They complained it was my fault. Anyway, we'll see how this show goes and the ratings bonanza that will benefit Keith and the Terrorists. But
Oh yeah. Yeah, you guys are going to be moving up to playing clubs that people pay to get into. I mean, I don't have anything against classic rock or whatever you want to call it, dad rock, whatever that means. Wilco, Dave Matthews, The National. I don't know what you call dad rock, but I like some of those bands. I'm not here to put anyone down.
Yeah, maybe a little.
Just a bit, but. Seriously, music is subjective. It's nostalgic. It can be just as much about the memory as it is about the song itself. You heard this song while you were driving to your ex's place, and whatever emotion is around that. Who knows? I mean, I like most of these bands. I just want to give other bands the chance to rotate in, and maybe some of these bands are great, but you're so sick of all their songs. So let's
wait. Is that a Tom Petty diss? I mean, I think Tom Petty is universally liked because he's one of the few singers, bands, or whatever that thing was that they let to keep having new hits. He has a lot of new songs. Too bad he's dead, but.
Yeah, I mean, he had a ton of hits. Year after year, they would let him put his new songs out. I mean, the only band that's currently like that is Spoon. But I mean, I guess they're pretty big. But who knows Spoon?
Well, no. We saw Spoon, right? Didn't we see them in '96 in the CMJ Festival in New York? Where was it? Was it the Arches of Loaf were headlining?
I think it was at like Irving Plaza, and it was like part of this, show. I mean, it was the CMJ showcase. I don't even know if Telefono, which is their first album, was even out, or it was just about to come out, or it came out. I don't know.
Wait, is that when Britt Daniel wore glasses?
Yeah, man, he looks like
He looked like Gary Busey, right? In the Buddy Holly story?
I forgot about that, man. Actually, the Buddy Holly story, believe it or not, was at Geneseo. Like I was in the stupid AV club. I was like one of the lighting cues for that back in school. But yeah, Spoon. I mean, they're.
Wait, you mean you ran the lights for the play of Buddy Holly back in college?
I didn't run the lights. I was like one guy, and I had like a few lighting cues. So I had like a headset on in the background. So it was like a traveling production that goes around the country. And
Do you travel around the country?
No, they needed a couple extra guys. Like we
see.
used to do load in for bands. Like I mean, I helped Fish load in when they played at Geneseo, but it was like they had all their roadies, and we were like half a dozen kids helping them like plug shit in or move boxes or traveling
Totally.
cases off the truck.
Dude, I was security at the Indigo Girls.
Yeah, I mean we.
Imagine me as security.
Anyway, it was good catching up with you. Like I think we should do this every week. I think we will do this every week, and we'll see what else we can get into.
Yeah, well, good luck being a dad. I mean, what is it? Is it 3 teenage girls?
They're not all teenagers, but yeah, 3 girls, and you have your 2 boys, and it's
who are younger, man. Like, I definitely think that's going to impact what we consider dad rock is the age of our kids.
I guess who even cares what dad rock is? We'll just talk about music. We'll rock. We'll be dads.
Yeah, wait. How'd you like that Juice WRLD video I sent you? Dude, I saw it last night on YouTube, like an hour after it came out, and it already had like 250,000 views.
Yeah, I mean,
shit, dude.
look, I watched that. It looked like what was the name of the song again? Just for the
Righteous.
So, I mean, my daughter listened to him, was upset when he died. Even my wife read the story and she's like, "Oh, that's really sad." But what I got from that video is like he was a rock star, and man, I should have been a rock star.
Totally. That's what I was watching. Like the first half before the cartoons, I was actually like, wait, he's on stage there, and there, and there, and there. And I'm like, what did I do? I was doing dishes last night.
Yeah, and he was at those shows, and he was playing at night, so that means he was close to a headliner, if not,
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, he's sick, dude. Oh, man. I saw him. It was amazing. I was literally the oldest person there.
Yeah.
Besides the person who owned the place.
I don't know, the gal who owned the place was probably younger than you too, man.
Yeah, fuck that. Whatever. All right, man. I gotta go. I gotta put the kids to bed. 'Cause I'm a dad.
All right. So good.
We'll catch you next week.
See you next week.